He's going to drive it over into the corner. He's got it to Hensley. Up back to Sally, to Compton. Compton goes up top. He's going to give it to Dean. Dean over to Sally. Sally is mugged, and that's going to be
it for Colby Backus. That's
Backus
5.
Will leave with 23 seconds left.
He's going to finish up with 7 points in the game, all of them in the first half.
So Sally will go to the line.
How big are these free throws?
They're huge.
So Sally is 1 for 2 on the night.
All 4 Gate City players back, and he misses his first.
And the people escorted out just came back in.
Okay. So Sally shot no good. 63-62, 20 seconds left. Here comes Boone. They get the ball across midcourt. Looking to drive. And they do. They kick it over to the corner. Shots up. Shots no good. Rebounded by Sally. And
they call a jump ball. I don't understand that at all. Sally's
jump ball, as they call.
Well, Sally was the only one that had the ball. I don't know how they called a jump on that, but it is Gate City ball regardless. They've just got to inbound it now. 7.7 seconds to go.
Hensley will inbound the basketball, and he does get it to Compton. Compton passed, and they're going to say Compton stepped out of bounds. Turnover. Boone will have the basketball with 6 seconds left. Great pressure by the Trailblazers. They're going to call for a full.
I'm still going back to that jump ball they called. I don't know how they saw that because Sally was up above everybody and came down with the ball.
So, Chris, what do you got stat-wise?
I have no idea at this point. Bradley Dean has a bunch. John Compton has 11. Luke Reed.
Is that the official?
A bunch. Luke Reed has 7. David George has 4. John Sally has 3. Let's see. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 30 for Dean.
And can you imagine, though, if this Gate City spurt and run had started in the third quarter instead of the fourth? I mean.
Or started in the first quarter like it should have.
Or just continue again. They led 7-2 early, and then Daniel Boone came back, and they dominated the first half, dominated the third quarter, and now they've got a chance to possibly pull this one out. 63-62. Gate City has a 1-point lead. Inbounding the basketball will be Jared Atkins along the bench of Daniel Boone. He does get it inside. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He's going to pull for a 3. Shots up. Good! And he makes it. And that will be the basketball game. They left him up. They
clogged the inside, left him wide open just off the top of the key. He drains it at the buzzer. You can't draw them up much better than that.
They over-rotated is what I was trying to get to. The Gate City defense over-rotated, allowing him to be wide open. Jared Atkins makes the 3, and they will, after having a 24-point lead, Gate City came all the way back, took a 2-point lead, and so now
Gate City outscored Boone 30 points to 10 in that last quarter.
But they needed a couple more. 65-63. Daniel Boone is victorious here at home, which sets the stage for a pretty interesting ball game on February the 11th when Boone comes to Gate City. So we'll take a break, catch our breaths, add up some figures, and finish up the night. 65-63 is the final. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
2 out of every 3 people will need an assisted living community at some point in their life. We here at Elmcroft of Johnson City want to help to guide you through the process and decisions and believe in you as a person, not as a number. If you do have questions and want to be treated with the value you deserve, we invite you to call or come to our location for a free, no-obligation tour and meal. To schedule a tour, call us today at 423-282-0280. That's 423-282-0280. We are located at 406 East Mountain View Road in Johnson City. You can check us out on the web at elmcroft.com. Elmcroft of Johnson City is an Eclipse senior living community. Colonial Funeral Home has a reputation for providing the highest quality of funeral services in our region with the personal attention and professionalism to help your family through the most difficult of times. The professional staff at Colonial Funeral Home is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance for every family with a focus on traditional service offerings, including traditional funerals, military services, grief support, and much, much more. You can also reach them anytime, day or night, at 276-386-6151. Again, that's 276-386-6151. Colonial Funeral Home is located in Weber City, Virginia.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
All right, so we are back here live from Daniel Boone High School as Daniel Boone with a last-second three-pointer wins the ball game 65-63. Chris, take us through the stats.
Okay, when we look at the scoring for Gate City, Bradley Dean led the way with 30 points. Luke Reed had 7, Eli Starnes 5, John Compton 11, Dondre Mack 1, David George 4, John Sally 3, Matthew Ghost 2. When we look on the defensive side, Dean had, I had him with 3 rebounds, 3 steals. Luke Reed, Mr. Defense, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. Eli Starnes with 2 rebounds. John Compton with 5. Hensley with 1. Dondre Mack with 2. David George with 5 rebounds. Jacob Taylor with 2. John Sally, 3 rebounds and a steal. Matthew Ghost, block shot, 2 rebounds. Joe, about all you can say is nobody to blame but themselves. They waited too long to make that comeback.
As my dad used to say, the winners tell jokes and the losers say, shut up and deal. So, yeah, I mean, because, really the first 3-4 minutes of the game, Gate City owned, and then they took their foot off the gas, whatever you want to say. Boone just outplayed them from midway through the first quarter till midway through the fourth quarter.
They absolutely did.
And, there's no one to blame except themselves. We mentioned, how if they'd have started that run the start of the fourth quarter, or, if that Gate City team would have been around from the get-go, jump up anyway.
Well, I never like to lose, but if you've got to, a non-conference game at the start of the season is when you want to do it. We could be looking back in March and saying that loss in Gray was the best thing that could have happened to this team.
Well, again, these two teams will match up once again February the 11th at Gate City. So I think there'll be a little bit something remembered, and
there'll be some motivation.
So that will be a pretty exciting night, I believe, in Gate City. So we'll talk about the stat of the night presented to us by the law office of Jesse Walker McNamara. Again, want to say thank you to them, fine folks down in Gate City, for what they do. I think that run, that scoring binge, outscoring Daniel Boone 30-10 in the fourth quarter, has to be the stat of the night, for Gate City. You can look at some other things. It was just, they were just unbeatable for that little stretch. Dean, when Compton hit that 3, and then Reed's defense, those 3 straight possessions where he got a steal sort of started them, and Dean, again, he was lights out then. He was able to make it from anywhere.
Right. It's almost as if that three-pointer by Compton finally got things rolling.
So it's just a little bit too little too late. But that is the law office of Jesse Walker McNamara's stat of the night, play of the night.
I've got one.
What you got?
David George's left-handed layup in the third quarter.
It was pretty. And, again, it was basic fundamental basketball. They got it inside to him.
I actually made a note in the scorebook when he hit that that's the best play I'd seen so far. And, I mean, other than that offensive explosion, no one single play stood out to me.
So, again, that will be then the Colonial Funeral Home Play of the Night. Again, sponsored by Colonial Funeral Home, the great folks in Weber City. Been serving our region for decades. Again, I want to say thank you to them for all that they do in their support. So that leaves us with the Delegate Terry Kilgore Player of the Game.
We could go Bradley Dean or John Compton, I think. Of course, Dean, that's his season low of 30 points.
Well, I'm actually going to go with Luke Reed.
Okay, the defense. I can buy into that.
I think that he was a catalyst there. You know,
he was not going to be denied in the paint down under the Boone goal.
He doesn't have a lot of offensive, ability. I mean, nothing negative, but I mean, he's not a scorer. He looks for defense first, and of course, those steals, those 3 consecutive series. In the fourth quarter, he was on the ground. He was hustling. He was doing everything he needed to do.
Well, he wound up with 7 points. He was the 3rd leading scorer on the team also. So yeah, good call. Good call. I'll take that.
So we'll go with Luke Reed as our leader, as our Delegate Terry Kilgore Leadership Player of the Game. Again, Delegate Kilgore serving our region for 2.5 decades. He just won re-election. We'll be going back to serve again Southwest Virginia once again for 2 more years. So, Chris, we will reconvene in the house that Carr built.
You're talking about the house that Coach Van Huss built.
A lot of history there. And again, tough place to play, a very athletic team. The boys and the girls will be seeing.
There's going to be a crowd. Come early if you're planning on going to the game. I've had lots of people asking me about it, people hitting me up for tickets like I have any pull in that.
You do, of course, I was
telling you, you give me $5, I'll get you a ticket to go in.
So, again, Gate City comes up on the short end tonight on the varsity boys and girls. Again, the girls fought, first game jitter. They really look like a team playing their first game. And, again, of course, Lexi Irvin mentioned that, that she was nervous. So, of course, that first quarter really reflected it. After that, they outplayed Daniel Boone.
Yeah, outplayed them by 1.
So, of course, it'll be interesting to see how the nerves are again facing a very good Lady Indian team on Friday night, or Thursday night, excuse me. Because on Friday is the Tribe Classic.
The Tribe Classic for me, that's right. Robinson Sevier play 1 game a year at Dobbins Bend. It's kind of a neat night, or neat day, I should say. They play during the day. They bus all the students from both schools there. It's a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
So, again, that ball game on Friday. But then, of course, we will finish up our week at Sullivan East. And, again, against a very good Lady Patriot team, a little bit on an uptick this year. The boys, don't know a lot about them. Haven't seen a lot of their scores. Of course, we'll try to research and figure out.
I do know they're going to have some motivation this year, though. The coach, longtime coach, announcing his retirement. They're going to want to go out on top, and not much of a better way to go out than to knock out one of the best teams in the state of Virginia.
And, of course, as we mentioned in the pregame, Gate City gets everybody's best shot every time. So, again, that will be concluding our week. So, we'll we'll finish things up here again. Chris, appreciate you, buddy. Good night. Again, we'll reconvene in the Buck Van Huss Dome at Dobbins Bennett. So
I'll see you there.
All right. So for Mr. Carr, this is Joe Carter. You've been listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.